The top stories tonight in Y News. The Department of Finance reports that the Philippines maintains the strongest gross domestic product growth among major Asian countries.
Vice President Sara Duterte challenges those who accuse her of involvement in drug killings to file a murder case before a Philippine court.
Commission on Election announces that the kickoff for voter registration in Kalayaan Islands holds a great symbolic significance for the Commission.
And we will explore why the United Nations World Court rejected a substantial part of cases filed by Ukraine against Russia.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Thursday, February 1, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Joselito Liquido.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellites monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Marvi Delphine.
First in the news. The Philippine economy grew by 5.6% in 2023, falling short of the government's full-year target. Despite this, the economic managers expressed optimism that the economy will grow further in 2024. Nel Maribuhok reports.
The Philippines still has the strongest gross domestic product growth among major Asian countries. This is according to the Department of Finance following the reported 2023 full-year GDP growth rate of 5.6%. According to DOF, major economies in Asia like China has only 5.2 GDP growth, Vietnam 5.0%, and Malaysia with 3.8%. GDP refers to the total value of all goods and services produced within a country over a given period. It is a key indicator used by economists and policymakers to assess the size and health of a country's economy and compare the economic performance of different countries. According to Finance Secretary Ralph Recto, the government will no longer rely on borrowing of income and investments strengthened to promote the growth of the country's economy. According to the Secretary, the key to economic growth is the assurance that there is a affordable and adequate supply of goods in the country. Despite this, NEDA Director General and Socio-Economic Planning Secretary Arsenio Balisacan said the political instability in any country may affect its economy.
Any country that has political instability will hurt its economy. So you know, it's the everybody's whether you're Philippines or Thailand or Vietnam, you want us to ensure that stability is maintained, because at the end of the day, it's what determines major decisions in relation to investment.
The government projects faster GDP growth of 6.5 to 7.5% in 2024 despite domestic and external headwinds. The government will continue pushing forward strategies to boost economic growth and ensure that the Philippines remains on track with its medium to long-term goals. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Vice President Sara Duterte has taken a bold stance, challenging those who accuse her of involvement in drug killings to step forward and file a murder case before a Philippine court. This comes as a Makabayan bloc lawmaker calls for an investigation into the alleged involvement of the Vice President within the House of Representatives. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Vice President Sara Duterte dares those who accuse her of being involved in Oplan Tokhang and Davao Death Squad or DDS to file a murder case before a Philippine court. This challenges come on the heels of allegations made by a retired policeman and self-confessed DDS member, Arturo Las Cañas. He claims that Vice President Duterte was the mastermind behind Oplan Tokhang.
Una itong debate sa testigo at mga tao na nakapalikod sa kanya. Mag-file kayo ng kasong murder laban sa akin dito sa Pilipinas.
According to the Vice President, it is only now that she's being linked to Oplan Tokhang, seemingly insisted upon to be implicated as an accused in the International Criminal Court or ICC.
Sa mga taon na nagsilbi ako bilang Vice Mayor at Mayor ng Naval City, ni minsan ay hindi naugnay ang aking pangalan sa isyong ito. Bigla na lang nagkaroon ng testigo laban sa akin ng mahal ko na Vice President. At kabilang na nga ako ngayon sa mga akusado sa International Criminal Court.
VP Sara insists that the ICC's meddling in the country's justice system is an affront to Philippine sovereignty and a violation of its dignity. Meanwhile, House Deputy Minority Leader and ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro appealed to the House leadership to investigate the alleged involvement of Vice President Sara Duterte in drug killings. She expressed concern that an education secretary is being linked to such an allegation. According to the teacher Solon, it is not surprising that the Vice President does not want to cooperate with the International Criminal Court or ICC.
Well, kapag nag-file na kami ng resolutions o mag-imbestiga ang Kongreso, wala siyang choice. Kasi in aid of legislation naman or eto, kasi this involves din yung human rights, no? Violation. So, tingnan lang natin kung hanggang saan natin mapupush na o dapat na or kung hanggang saan yung powers ng Kongreso para mapa-attend etong si Vice President Sara Duterte. Kasi involved talaga dito yung masyado napakahalagang usapin, yung human rights violations.
However, a House Deputy Majority Leader underscores the importance of due process in dealing with the serious accusations.
There are other matters that we need to look into. So depende siguro, dadaan pa yan sa House rules, sa committee level.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The kickoff for voter registrations will be led by the Commission on Elections or COMELEC officials in Kalayaan Island on February 12, 2024. This would be a remarkable step by the Commission. Dante Amento tells us why.
Commission on Elections Chairman George Erwin Garcia said it is symbolic on the part of the Commission to have the voter registration kick off in Kalayaan Island. It will show that no matter how far, the Commission will reach them for the sake of their mandate to uphold Filipinos' rights to suffrage enshrined in the Constitution and to prove that this island belongs to the Philippines.
Napaka-symbolic din kasi akala kasi nila walang nakatira doon sa may bandang area ng Kalayaan Island. Tatandaan natin at ang Kalayaan ay isang munisipyo ng probinsya ng Palawan. And therefore, dahil bilang isang probinsya, meron siyang mayor, meron siyang mga local officials, and isa siya talagang munisipyo.
Chairman Garcia believes this remarkable step would encourage Filipino citizens to register. The poll body is eyeing 3 million registered voters during the entire duration of registration from February 12 to September 30, 2024. February 12 will also be declared as National Voters Day in honor of Filipino electorates.
Para man lang kahit paano maengganyo, mahikayat natin ang mga kababayan natin na magpa-rehistro. Pupunta rin po tayo sa Bicol, pupunta rin po tayo sa Mindanao and such other parts of the country para kahit paano mas madami magpaparehistro from February 12 to September 30.
Now that all proceedings related to the People's Initiative, such as receiving of signature sheets, were already suspended, the Commission said they could focus on the preparations for the 2025 national and local elections, including voter registration.
Medyo nakangiti ang inyong Commission on Election. So kahit paano po medyo nawala sa aming mga dibdib yung napakabigat din na trabaho na inaasahan natin kung sakasakali magtutuloy-tuloy pa muna itong mga pagtanggap natin ng mga lagda.
Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Several employees of the Philippine Senate opposes moves for charter change or CHACHA. Members of the Senate Union Sandigan ng mga empleyadong nagkakaisa sa adhikain ng Demokratikong Organisasyon or Senado held a mini protest in front of the Senate building to voice out their opposition to the movement. They appealed to lawmakers to focus on pressing issues the country is facing today.
Nananawagan po kami na ipasa ang mga batas na nagtataas ng sahod ng mga empleyado, hindi lang sa pamahalaan, ngayon din sa private sector, ensure ang job security, ang food security, dahil yan po ang mga issues na dapat nating pag-usapan sa ngayon.
Other groups also warned that tinkering with the economic provisions of the Constitution would open the doors to political chacha.
Kahit ano pa yan, kahit anong formasyon o pamamaraan ng pag-tinker with the Constitution means might as well nabuksan na. Masyadong maiksi yung termino ng isang presidente. So, it's important na sa economic chacha pa lang, irehistro na natin bakit siya mali.
Tingin nyo ba ang ating kahirapan galing sa Constitution? I don't think we should blame the Constitution for the corruption and the poverty that's happening today. Kasi may kontraktualisasyon. Kasi walang lupa ang magsasaka. You can never, ever develop if that's the situation of the economy.
Senator Sonny Angara, who will lead the discussions for the resolution of both houses number 6, assures that no political amendments will be tackled.
The Council for Children's Welfare has cited data indicating that as of the latest reporting, there have been no incidents of AI-generated sexual abuse and exploitations reported in the country. JP Nunez will tell us why.
Despite numerous reports around the world of child sexual abuse and exploitation using artificial intelligence or AI-generated images, the Council for Children's Welfare stated that there is still no report of this incident in the country, citing a data from the Philippine National Police or PNP.
Itong AI-generated child sexual abuse and exploitation materials, base po sa PNP Women and Children Protection Center, wala pa pong nare-report niyan sa Pilipinas.
The AI-generated sexual abuse and exploitation to children are among the concerns internationally. It is alarming as the generated images are too realistic. CWC Executive Director Undersecretary Angelo Tapales explained that the generated images of the children are traded in dark web.
Yan po ay tinetrade or binebenta sa dark web. So batay po sa mga pag-aaral po sa ibang bansa, like kunyari po sa United Kingdom, meron silang mga na-monitor na ganito, and of course ang pangambaho nila, the realism is really incredible. So photorealistic images daw po yung talagang nakikreate, talaga po nakakabahala, kaya po binabantayan po natin.
The CWC said AI-generated images of children are gathered through open source website, image generating tools, and image generating softwares. Parents and guardians should play an important role to a safe usage of the internet for children.
It's really important to recognize harmful contents tsaka harmful people in the internet. Pag dubious website, sabihan niyo po ang mga anak niyo, huwag pong pumasok dyan, huwag makipag-usap po sa mga hindi kilala. Of course, talk to your children, spend time with them. The family should be involved.
The Department of Justice previously sought the aid of the Congress for tools against this scheme generating images of children used for sexual abuse and exploitation. CWC encourages parents and guardians to report to them any related incident causing abuse and exploitation to children through their helpline number 1383. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, in a Senate hearing on child safety, United States senators have grilled tech giant bosses, asserting they have blood on their hands. Dozens of parents held pictures of their children who suffered harm attributed to social media platforms, underscoring the gravity of the concerns addressed during the session. Olga Chalyan will tell us why.
In the latest United States Senate hearing, focused on efforts to better protect children over social media exploitation, senators accused biggest social media companies for the growing cases of child sexual exploitation. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said this straight away after tech CEOs of Meta, X, Snap, TikTok, and Discord have sworn in Wednesday, January 31st. Graham pointedly addressed Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, stating, "You have blood on your hands," and asserting that their product is killing people. U.S. senators said Congress must quickly pass legislation to address the concerns of parents and mental health experts who emphasize that social media companies must allot profits for child security. Zuckerberg was grilled the most among the 4 other tech bosses. He apologized to families of social media victims who were also in the hearing room. Zuckerberg, however, denied responsibility for facilitating the abuse as Senator Hawley suggested. Meta CEO also pledged to prevent child abuse in their Facebook and Instagram platforms, but was again roasted by the committee when they displayed an internal email copies showing Zuckerberg rejecting a request by Meta's top policy executive to hire between 45 and 84 engineers to work on safety improvements. Meanwhile, ex-CEO Yacarino emphasized that the company supported the top CSAM Act, a legislation that allowed tech companies accountable for child abuse and sued the tech platforms. While TikTok CEO Chu said they would spend more than $2 billion on trust and safety efforts, he declined to state how that figure would compare to the company's overall revenue. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Following a department's order to alleviate teachers from administrative tasks, there was a promise by the Department of Education to add additional employees to handle these responsibilities. However, according to teachers, the implementation of the removal of administrative tasks cannot be done abruptly as they report a lack of the promised personnel. Jed Neresina will tell us why.
The implementation of a department order to remove administrative tasks from teachers faces challenges. Schools are still awaiting the arrival of administrative staff to replace teachers in these roles, making an immediate implementation of the order unfeasible.
Although very excited na yung mga teachers na matanggal yung kanilang mga admin task, no, hindi siya ganun ka-abrupt. Maliban na lang kung magdadala na kaagad ang division office ng mga non-teaching para gawin yung mga administrative tasks na ito.
Liberty Sacramento, echoing the sentiments of many educators, has requested a separate budget for hiring additional employees to handle administrative tasks. The current plan suggests that funds for hiring non-teaching staff would be derived from the maintenance and other operating expenses of the schools. However, this allocation from MOOE intended for school expenses, including facility construction, raises concerns among educators. Liberty Sacramento expressed apprehension that allocating everything to the salaries of administrative staff might leave insufficient funds for the overall needs of the school.
Ang construction dito, ang repair, so sakop pa rin yun ng MOOE at saka yung iba pang gastusin. So hindi naman sapat kung mag-hire ka ng mga 5 o 10 mga empleyado para doon. So magkano na yon? Magkano ang MOOE? Baka doon na lang lahat mapunta. Paano naman yung pagpapatakbo ng paaralan?
Amabel Villanueva, the president of the Alliance of Concerned Teachers at Caloocan High School, shares similar concerns, suggesting the need for a separate budget to ensure that MOOE remains adequate for school expenses.
Kung babawasan mo yung mga yon para ibayad sa admin task, hindi makakatulong doon sa MOOE ng paaralan. Lalo na kung ang mga paaralan ay mga maliliit at maliit lang MO nila, hindi rin yun makakasapat. Kaya it's better na mag-allocate o kaya tumulong yung lokal na pamahalaan para magkaroon ng solution doon sa inilabas na memorandum na number 2 ng DepEd.
Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte, in the second Basic Education Report, outlined plans for an additional 5,000 administrative personnel by 2024. The report also mentioned an increase in funds for MOOE to facilitate the recruitment for more employees.
To ensure its effective implementation, along with the filling up of 5,000 administrative personnel for 2023 and another 5,000 administrative personnel for 2024, we will also be providing additional MOOE to enable our schools to hire the necessary administrative support staff.
Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In a tragic maritime incident that occurred in Batangas yesterday afternoon, two passenger vessels collided, prompting the Philippine Coast Guard to launch a fact-finding investigation. It is expected to conclude investigation within a week. The investigation is expected to conclude within a week, shedding light on the circumstances surrounding the collision between the Hop and Go water taxi and the Ocean Jet 6, a passenger vessel carrying 105 passengers and 19 crew members. As part of the investigative process, crew members of the water taxi have taken oaths, and the Ocean Jet crew and passengers are also expected to do the same. Authorities will scrutinize whether nautical rules of the road, particularly the traffic separation scheme in the Verde Island Passage, were adhered to. This entails determining the give-way vessel and the stand-on vessel in specified traffic route.
Inangat namin yung wreckage, no? Naiangat na namin. Parang pinoforensic, tinitignan yung tsura niya, saan yung impact, ilang metro, ganyan ang ginagawa namin ngayon. Para may put into, it's like a piece of puzzle. Hindi naman pwedeng yung statement lang ng kapitan ng Ocean Jet o ng crew ang kukunin mo. Siyempre, yung mga witnesses doon, yung pasahero ng boat vessels, yung nating survivor na pasahero ng water taxi at yung 105 na pasahero ng Ocean Jet para mai-assemble natin yung puzzle.
Atin titignan din po yung gamit ng mga barko, kung lumabas ba sa radar at gaano kalayo. Kasi yung area na yon ay may traffic separation scheme at titignan din kung sila ay nasa tamang pwesto nung sila ay parehong naglalayag. So yun yung mga bagay na titignan at hopefully matapos kagad yung investigation.
In response to the incident, the Philippine Coast Guard has taken immediate action, suspending the sailing of all water taxis belonging to the Hop and Go company involved in the collision. Tragically, the collision resulted in the loss of 2 crew members, including the captain of the water taxi. 2 out of the 5 tourists aboard the water taxi sustained injuries.
May automatic suspension na kinonsider yung Coast Guard District Southern Tagalog, si Commodore Tavilla, in coordination with Marina, na hindi mo na palayagin yung anumang asset ng water taxi.
In a significant development, the National Irrigation Administration's Benguet Satellite Office has officially turned over the Pongyu Creek Sablan Alog Small Irrigation System Phase 2 to the Dam's Irrigators and Farmers Association for operation and maintenance. The turnover ceremony, held in Barangay Camog on January 31, 2024, was a simple yet pivotal event led by NIA CAR Regional Manager Benito Espica Jr. and Sablan Mayor Alfredo Dacumos. During the ceremony, the Dam's Irrigators and Farmers Association, headed by President Oliver Paay, officially accepted the project. Implemented in 2023, the project is now benefiting 30 hectares of high-value crops cultivated by 45 farmers. With a contract amount of 13.69 million pesos, the Pongyu Creek Sablan Alog SIS Phase 2 comprises essential facilities, including a 24.9-kilometer pipeline 14 units of suspended pipeline, 1 intake tank, 9 reservoir tanks, and 1 unit of pressure relief.
The Department of Science and Technology has reported that microplastics found in milkfish may pose a potential threat to human health. While the initial findings raise alarm, experts caution that further study is needed to determine the extent of the threat posed by this new pollutant. Gladys Tuwabi explains why.
The study of Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology shows 29 out of 30 milkfish were contaminated by microplastics. Each fish has an average of 5 to 10 microplastics. The study was done April to May 2022 in Nasipit and Butuan Bay. The Department of Science and Technology says this can affect the food intake of milkfish and disrupt its growth and health.
Microplastic is something that we supposed not to have in our body. It's a foreign body that we don't have the enzyme, that we cannot digest that one. And may mga studies na may mga studies sa animals na nagsasabi na the presence of microplastics in our body can cause oxidative stress. So na-stress yung ating mga cells, yung ating mga organs. And then microplastic also can induce inflammation sa mga organs ng mga model animals.
These microplastics are acquired from plastic bags, containers, and water bottles. It is also said that these can pose potential threat to human, as human has no enzyme to digest such. However, experts say this needs a further study to determine up to what extent of damage it can cause.
The human, it's a challenging study. Yeah, but definitely wala pa tayo sa ganon. But the mere presence of microplastics is not really good. Microplastic have also surfaces na it could absorb. So pwedeng dumikit doon yung heavy metals, pwedeng dumikit doon yung polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, pwedeng dumikit doon yung mga bacteria, pwedeng dumikit doon yung mga viruses, pwedeng dumikit doon yung mga pesticides. So yan po yung pinag-aaralan namin ngayon. So we are trying to determine what are those chemicals na riding on the surface of microplastics and sa bacteria.
Meanwhile, the Department of Health, they are also monitoring how microplastics can harm to one's health.
Hindi natin kailangan pwedeng sabihin na just because sa bangus nakitahan, hindi na tayo kakain ng bangus. Hindi. Besides, wala pa nga tayong harm na nakikita sa mga pag-aaral on microplastics. But we are on the lookout. Alalahanin natin yung kasabihan, ang basurang itinapon mo ay babalik sa'yo. So kung tayo ay medyo walang pakialam kung saan tayo nagtatapon ng plastic, ayan na, nakikita natin, bumabalik sa ating pagkain sa anyo ng mga microplastics.
Microplastics are not only found in areas of Mindanao. It is also present in Metro Manila air, waters of Laguna Lake, and recent study shows microplastic in salt. Experts say this is a call for action to our people's lifestyle. To avoid worse scenarios, using reusable and recyclable objects can be of help. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Antawid Pamilyang Filipino Program National Program Manager Director Gemma Gabuya has announced that there is an expectation that by 2024, approximately 1.2 million individuals will need to exit from the program. Gabuya emphasized the importance of ensuring that the improvements in the well-being of these individuals will be sustained even after their exit from the program. To achieve this, the department is actively strengthening partnerships with the National Advisory Council and local government units, working collaboratively to prepare for the exit of the 1.2 million beneficiaries. The 4Ps program manager reiterated that ongoing support programs are crucial to ensuring that the progress made by the poor beneficiaries is not lost.
Actually, ASEC, ang ini-expect sa amin ngayon by 2024, 1.2 million ang kailangan mag-exit. So yun ang challenge ko ngayon kasi we really need to put together all the efforts na So, kailangan mayroon talagang sasalo na programa. I mean, the scholarship and the livelihood on that.
Presently, local government units provide various support services to households that have already graduated from the 4Ps program. These services include livelihood opportunities, educational support, cash assistance, and skills training.
And in other global news, India has deployed around 12 warships east of the Red Sea to combat piracy, investigating over 250 vessels amid rising concerns over attacks by Yemen's Iran-backed Houthis. While not part of the US-led task force in the Red Sea, India maintains a significant naval presence with 2 frontline warships in the Gulf of Aden and at least 10 in the northern and western Arabian Sea, constituting to its largest deployment in the region. Foreign Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar emphasized India's responsibility to assist in challenging situations, citing the nation's growing capabilities and interests. Notably, India's naval presence surpasses that of other countries, including the United States, France, and China. Since December 1, at least 17 incidents of hijacking attempt, and suspicious approach have been recorded, primarily attributed to the Yemen's Houthi attacks on the ships in the Red Sea. Amidst the conflict, India's naval efforts extend beyond policing the Red Sea, rescuing vessels, and addressing maritime security.
The International Court of Justice, or United Nations World Court, has given its predicament on the Ukraine-Russia conflict, on which most of Ukraine's case against Russia were significantly dismissed. Arkel Yorka details why.
The International Court of Justice, or ICJ, also known as the World Court, has dismissed a substantial part of Ukraine's case against Russia. In a ruling on Wednesday, January 31, the judges concluded that Russia had violated elements of a UN anti-terrorism treaty, but notably sidestepped Ukraine's allegations regarding the MH17 incident in 2014. The court revealed that Russia breached an anti-discrimination treaty by neglecting to support Ukrainian language education in Crimea post-annexation in 2014. Despite this legal setback for Ukraine, the court mandated Russia's compliance with the treaties and refrained from granting reparations. Ukraine's Representative Anton Korynevich underscored the judgment's significance, officially branding Russia as a violator of international law for the first time. Ukraine initially filed the lawsuit in 2017, accusing Russia of funding pro-Russian separatists in Ukraine in violation of the anti-terrorism treaty. During the hearing in June 2023, Russia dismissed Ukraine's claims as fiction and blatant lies. The case, which has spanned almost 7 years, revolved around Ukraine's accusations that Russia equipped and funded pro-Russian forces, including those responsible for shooting down MH17. It is important to note that the court's judgments are final and cannot be appealed. However, many believe that the ICJ lacks the means to enforce its rulings. This Friday, February 2, the court is expected to rule on another case where Ukraine accuses Russia of falsely invoking the 1948 Genocide Convention to justify its invasion in February 2022. RK Liorca, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe.
A remarkable upset unfolded as the NHA Home Masters handed the DA Food Masters, the top team in the standings, their second loss in the UNTV Cup Season 10 second-round eliminations. In another gripping matchup, the Senate Dependers emerged victorious in a closely contested battle against the Ombudsman Graft Busters. Breaking a streak, the GSIS Furies managed to end their 5-game losing streak with a significant win against the PNP responders. JP Nunez details why.
The GSIS Furies have made a triumphant return to their winning momentum after dominating the PNP responders in a triple header held at the Novedesi Convention Center in Quezon City. The Furies secured a convincing victory with a scoreline of 94-75. Rene Boy Banzali emerged as the best player of the game, contributing significantly with 28 points, 11 rebounds, 5 steals, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. This win ends the GSIS 5-losing streak, a stark contrast to their last victory on November 19, 2023. This victory breathes new life into GSIS chances to make it to the quarterfinals. However, the road ahead requires them to win their remaining 2 matches against the Senate Defenders and the second-ranked team in the standings, the AFP Cavaliers. With this recent win, GSIS has risen to the 8th spot, holding a 4-5 win-loss record. On the other hand, the PNP has dropped from the 7th spot to the 9th position with 4 wins and 5 losses.
Yeah, we just watched yung games namin. We saw some things that we need to adjust, and then also yung players just wanted to win this game. They wanted to win badly. That's why I think we won the game.
Well, actually wala kaming preparation sa GSIS kasi until now, yung detail order ng mga police is wala pa. So, meron kaming 2-day practices. Halos ilan lang nakakapunta kasi may mga trabaho silang dapat unahin.
Meanwhile, the Senate Defenders continue their winning momentum after a neck-and-neck battle against the Ombudsman Graft Busters, securing a 79-76 victory. Taking the lead for the Senate Defenders was Lawrence Gasparillo, who had an outstanding performance, amassing 24 points, along with contributing 2 rebounds and registering both an assist and a block. GK Sevilla also made a notable contribution, scoring 20 points, while Romel Balboa added 11 points to the team's total. Additionally, Harry Petilios chipped in with 10 points, rounding out a well-distributed offensive effort by the Senate Defenders. Samuel Ignacio led the offensive efforts for the Graft Busters, scoring 19 points, supported by Israel Del Cruz with 16 points and Yurick Florino with 12 points. Despite the valiant effort, the Graft Busters faced their 3rd consecutive defeat, slipping to the 7th spot from the 5th in the standings.
Ang sinabi ko lang naman sa mga players, huwag kami sumabay sa kasi ang tingin ko binabagala na nila yung laro eh. So ang sabi ko, i-push lang natin na i-push yung game. Basta nasa lugar yung tira, okay lang, tumira tayo. Basta ang importante is bumalik kami sa depensa. Yun lang naman ang inano ko eh. Tapos adjust na lang kami kung anong depensa at kung ano yung mga offense ang ginagawa namin. Buti naman, may mga nag-step up, si Nash, nag-step up. Tapos yung mga crucial shots, mga pasok.
At saka yung shot, not go. That's right. Mercado with the catch and the first field goal para sa Testica at dito para kay Mercado. And speaking of Mercado, back-to-back baskets.
In the 3rd game, a clash of masters unfolded as the NHA Home Masters faced off against the Department of Agriculture Food Masters. The NHA Home Masters executed an effective game plan, securing a dominant victory with a commanding scoreline of 112-76.
Hindi. Actually, parang road game kami ngayon eh. Ang game namin, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. So yung preparation na namin against sa team na to, 2 days lang eh. Kahapon at saka nung Monday. So naglaro lang talaga ng todo yung mga players. Talagang ayaw na nilang matalo. Tapos talagang sineryoso nila, pati yung mga training na ginawa. Kaya siguro nag-pay off naman sa amin at nakakuha kami ng panalo.
Yung players kasi siguro mas hungry yung kalaban namin ngayon. Kami nag-prepare pero mas magandang preparation siguro ginawa na NHA. So siguro yung mindset namin wala rito pero physically andito kami. Kasi yung execution hindi nagawa. Una pa lang may nagkaintindihan sa dugout na okay lahat. So ito gagawin natin. Unfortunately, sabi ko nga, siguro wala sa focus yung mga players.
Alvin Vitog with 23 points, 9 boards and 5 assists, and Marvin Mercado contributing 21 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks were named the best players of the game. This win propelled the NHA Home Masters to the 4th spot from the 6th in the rankings. Meanwhile, the Department of Agriculture Food Masters maintained their top position with a commendable 7-2 win-loss record. With only 2 games remaining for each team in the second round eliminations, every victory becomes crucial as the top 2 teams secure automatic semifinals tickets. As we approach the conclusion of the second round eliminations, teams ranked 3rd to 8th will engage in the quarterfinals via single round robin format. Regrettably, those positioned 9th and 10th will bid farewell to the league. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God. From the book of John, chapter 12, verse 50, it says, "And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak." And those are the reasons behind the news February 1, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Marvi Delfin, live from Australia.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Joselito Liquido, live from Malaysia. We serve the people, we give glory to God.